This is Petscop 2. Okay, Petscop 2, April 1st. So Petscop 1 was released March 12th. April 1st, when we watch our timeline of the post, was a week after, a week before the Reddit post, okay? And half a month after the first video. Description, no description, okay? Alright. I'm not sure if he chooses the picture you see, the thumbnail, or if it's automatically, because it seems quite random, maybe. I have to watch into this, because there's always something important showing, but we will see. I'm keeping it like a consideration of the whole. So Notepad, and this one, the first one was 9 minutes, and here we have 12. Notice the sound it makes when it opens. I think that's a reoccurring sound. I'm just curious right now why he had the video not cut later. Why is it running for 18 seconds? And what I saw now, like the wobbling of the graphics, I think the wobbling of the X and triangle button is probably what I think is more like a compression error of YouTube or the video, how he captured it, and not a part of the game. Because when you watch the grass and the player character here, it wobbles as well.
Hey, so,
Another cut.
the door opened on its own. I was just in the other room for a couple of minutes, and I came back and the door was open, and I checked the recording, because I was recording, and the door just opens on its own. I didn't do anything.
Interesting.
So, I'll take it, right? So I'm gonna show you what's in here now. I haven't seen it yet, so, this could be interesting.
As we concluded in the previous video, he doesn't know what he has to expect from here on out, right? You can see, I can't really tell what it is, but there's something. If we would brighten up the screen, could probably tell that there's something in this loading screen. I hope you can see it, but it's in the comprehensive guides, I believe. So we see it later.
Huh.
So, just to note, those are the first. This is the first money or pieces, whatever, he collects in this plane. Interesting signs. Are those clocks? What is this? Interesting. This moving part looked like a chimney, but we never saw like an exit on top. Collecting his pieces, as you do. Or money. Hear the phone.
The phone.
Okay. So. Color theory again. Yellow. Care. Care left the room. Okay.
What is this?
And this is a pretty... We don't know yet, but I think it comes up later again. These are like 3 states of the same girl or boy, we don't know yet, but of the same person. We can't see the last one, but it's like a logical conclusion, right? From A to B to NLM. A, she looks like straight hair, clean. B, her hair are a little bit fuzzier. And NLM, she has the hands over her eyes, like she's crying or something. We don't know what, but this maybe she's hiding or don't know. But the question is, like AB is a logical sequence, right? A to B to NLM. What does NLM stand for? And as far as I saw in all the analysis videos, NLM, there's a like a consensus what it means, and it comes up later. But for now, and I think I can stand behind this theory, by the way, but we can't say it's a fact, right? But most people believe it's nobody loves me. Okay, but for now, we don't know if it's nobody loves me, and we won't know when it comes up because it's never explicitly said, I think, as far as I know. Okay?
ABNLM.
By the way, it's a telephone. Just shortly go back to the telephone. Why? Who was on the telephone, on the phone, and said, Care has left the room? So maybe Care was somewhere, and the person that's called, like, watched over her, guarded her, maybe, and NLM, I'm sorry, Care broke out or got away, and she has, or he has, the guard, is to phone to this office room. That's what I see here. This room, it's like an office. Has to give notice, to make a report. The carer has left her room. Okay.
Okay. Nothing.
So he walked towards us. But he thinks there isn't anything down there. You can hear the footsteps go away. So he maybe walks into an invisible wall. So maybe the road ends.
Okay.
That's quite ominous because all the lights.
Nothing.
Pictures. Greenhouse. Notice the sound, like an ominous sound, right? Brick house, ominous sound. And the last picture, as far as I know, windmill. What was that? Okay.
This just keeps going.
He doesn't realize the sound, and what is the? Oh, that's a beep. That's a car. It's a car sound you hear when he enters the room, and he just car is really fast, okay, but it's pretty obvious in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 frames. We don't know how what the frame rate is of the game, but if you just watch it,
This just keeps going.
it's and he stops. Sure, just for a second he stops
This just keeps
before
going.
crossing the road. And by the way, that's always what I thought about when I watched analysis videos. Sorry. His movement pattern is somehow is really weird. Just watch how he approaches the street.
This just keeps going.
Right, he makes a step towards the camera. Why not just walk right? And when Paul, so let me just go back 1 second. When he enters this area, it's like 3 minutes 19 seconds in the video.
This just keeps going.
And now it's 362. So the cars, if you go with the approach that the cars come in a periodic time, like in the same time always, car had 7 seconds until it came again. And this would be 7 seconds again. Right.
Yeah?
Thanks, Paul, for the acknowledgement. There is some money pieces back there, and he left the road, but there's no car since the second one. Can walk some steps towards us. Was that a sound? There's a weird sound here. 4 minutes. 4:09. Interesting. 2 doors. So, just go back real fast. As soon as he entered the street, there were no cars, right? He leaves the street at 4:04, 4:03. And if the cars are periodic, now should we hear a sound of another car. But they're seemingly stopped. Or we can't hear the sound because he's too far away. We don't know yet. Just an interesting thought. I don't know if you can see that, if it's too dark. But there's also an image hidden, I think, here. I think always in the loading screens. In the loading screen in Even Care, there was, I think that's the only loading screen we saw for now that was clear. And was loading, just, I think, loading.
Sorry for not talking very much. I'm a little bewildered, if you want to know the truth. This is a little more than I was expecting to see.
Okay. So, it's like a stone structure with a face on it, and on top of it seems like a present or something. And it's Michael Hammond, and it's like a pinkish, purplish kind of color. Michael Hammond, 1988. Again, time, right? A timeline. We don't know what. We can make the conclusion. It's like a tombstone. So Michael was 6 or 7. So a kid. And by the way, there comes a famous line from Paul after when I unpause here, and Mike was a gift.
That's a dead kid.
Yes, Paul.
Yep.
Interesting how long the text box stays up. We can conclude he pressed it away, okay, because he walks afterwards. He doesn't walk beforehand. Maybe he walks and then the text box automatically closes. Can't say for certain.
Yep.
No, he closes it and then he walks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Text ball. Okay. Just for this scene,
Yep.
there is a door to the right, like downstairs, and the door to the left. The house has a face with no eyebrows, just eyes and nose. And the tombstone, if it is a tombstone, eyebrows, eyes, and nose.
Okay.
And we see a flower. The room has, before he plucks a petal, has a red tint to it, okay? And as soon as he plucks it, it goes away, and there's the red tint again. Always when he plucks the second one, the tone that comes up is like distorted, right? And just to note, there's some garden utensils here, gardening tools, and as it seems, a box of crayons. why does he stop now?
Wait.
Wait, I think he says. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wait.
I think I would play the same. I think you see something happening and you know there's a second door, and before you like finish this room you have to check the other room, right? What is there? Maybe you missed something beforehand. So he enters the second room, and there we see an alarm. Okay, if I find the frame here, it's the same face. We see the girl or boy or the person making on this hill, on this dirt hill. And like, it seems like a noose, or maybe I'm not a native speaker of English, but I think it's like the hilt or something of the flower, the stem. I'm not quite sure if they're like things protruding here, like from a stem, the little leaves come out. So when he plucks the last one, the room stays red, or becomes red again, and the flower disappears into the ground. Funnily enough, he walks. That's pretty disturbing. He walks straight downstairs, but the flower is like offset to the left a little bit, I think. No, maybe. I think you can see the door right here, right? The other one. It's leading downstairs. But we can guess it's on top of this dirt hill. So he comes down again, and the hill descended into the ground, and Anna is distorted, and she doesn't have her hands on her face. She has no collision.
Wait. I don't know. So when I first came down here, I thought I was just gonna see, like, one room. Like something, but not down here.
Do the eyes... Oh, sorry.
This. Like one room.
Do the eyes move of the tombstone, or am I just paranoid?
Like something, but not this. Can I go in here?
Not sure.
I can.
I have to finish the stream in like 5 minutes, by the way. So he walked past the house. He gave up. He's like, he doesn't know what to do there. So, what do we see here? He sees it, okay? For us, it's maybe that's again coding error or an upload error of YouTube. Maybe when he made the video, he wasn't aware that I think YouTube is a little bit darker when you upload. So in the video, in this window, there's like a red piece and a yellow piece that move. Okay. And I'm not sure if this has any significance with the colors or not, but I'm writing it down just to be safe. Okay, and here we see some pictures. We can't really tell what it is, but this one, just straight ahead. This one is really similar. It's a reoccurring figure. We see it soon. Can't really make out the text above the plant here. As I said, his movement is really, it's calculated, right? He knows, he shows us what he wants us to see first, or he goes there, he walks the way for what he wants us to see first. So he doesn't walk straight ahead. He walks towards us, and then he's moving slowly because he sees something there, right? And we see it. And there is the figure I meant. Beforehand, it was blue. The drawing was blue.
Oh.
Now it's pinkish purplish. And the text box is also pinkish purplish. And ask he writes something in it. Okay. So, interesting bit about just this text box. I'm not sure. So the game is, in quotations, fake, right? It's the real PS game. But I'm not sure if the PS1 was capable. I never saw something like this in a PS1 game. I think it's not too hard to program, because he asks it some questions, and if the specific question isn't in a bank of questions, you always get the same response, right? But I think that's a pretty neat way. I don't know how to describe it, but I think these text boxes where you ask something are pretty neat, and I think they're really core, because you never talked with someone, you just read some signs, right? And what do you want to ask this figure, this symbol, or whatever it is? I managed to display the notepad now. Okay, so I think let's just start and see where it leads us.
Oh. What?
Okay, that's what I talked about last time, okay? So I think the I don't know answer comes up a lot. I think in the third video, there's in the description they list some questions they ask, or in a later video we'll come to that. That's why I think, and it's in the comprehensive guide, I think, or I read it somewhere, that the answers are in a bank, in an answer bank, and when the question you ask isn't in this bank, the answer I don't know comes up.
No.
And there's the windmill from the picture.
Okay.
And then there comes this ominous, message from this thing. Keep watching the windmill.
Oh.
And I think that's the same sound that came up when you watched the let's check. When he watched the house picture, right? Somewhere around here. No, it's not the same. Okay, there's a second ominous sound then.
Okay. Uh. Uh. Oh.
And just to note, the way the blades are turning of the from the windmill, I think, I'm not sure, I have to check that. It's the wrong, on the wrong side. So it turns clockwise now, and normally the windmill should turn on the other side. I have to check that. I check it for next stream. So something is off with this windmill. That's the point. And second time, the ominous sound.
Alright, so it's been like 2 minutes. And
Cut.
when those sounds were playing, there was nothing happening as far as I could tell, and nothing has happened since. So I'm just gonna keep going. There's already been stuff that I could dig a little deeper into, and I'm gonna do that and keep you updated. But also, when you come home next month, and hopefully you're feeling a little more enthusiastic about that now.
So again, he talks to a specific person, right? The person, we can guess that that's the person he wanted to show it in the first place. He's not uploading it for like the public. He's uploading it for a specific person.
We can investigate this together, and maybe you'll find
It's a dead end. Okay.
stuff that I can't find here.
Okay. This is a like pretty important or major room again. So I will stop again in intervals. When he first enters, what we see is it looks like a bedroom, right? We have a note on the right side, and on the far side we have a clock. I saw when I uploaded the last YouTube video, by the way, on YouTube, it's again dark, and I try to like brighten up next video. The clock on here, when we look at it, it's like a 7:45. So 8:45, maybe it's some minutes earlier. And on the ground there is Quitter's room, but it's mirrored. Okay. And when he walks to this wall, we see another character, the first character we see in the game, except the pets. It looks like Paul, but with like a crude drawing of a girl face, I would guess. And when you see on the left bottom side, it also says Quitter's room. We can't see the whole thing, but it's like it's mirrored, right? So her room is right side up, and Paul's room is mirrored, and that's probably the same thing with the clock. So the clock face, which pointed to 8:45, would be mirrored as well.
Oh.
And as we see, the other player or character walks the same as Paul, mirrors his actions. And there we see the clock a little bit better. Weird sound. Let me just go back to the clock again. So if it's mirrored, it would be like 4:15, right? Or like 16, 17 minutes after 4 o'clock in the morning or evening. Sorry, I cut off the sound. Isn't that the same sound the door makes? Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
And stuff. And maybe you'll find stuff that I can't find here. Oh.
And
What the fuck?
and she lost Hall's movement. When he walks back from the clock, she's maybe 1 or 2 steps behind him.
What the fuck?
And then she slowly
Wait a second.
catches up. No, she doesn't. Now she catched up.
What was that just now? Can I get that to happen again? Wait. Hey, sorry, I had to look at that for a moment. In the video. I was a little nervous. The tones, I think this is the same tones, that you might have heard in the beginning. I'm gonna put in the beginning the part where the door opened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the way the guy on the other side was moving for a moment. I'm gonna ask for your comment later on that. So I was looking around here. So this is backwards. It says, "Do you remember being born?"
Let me go back.
And
Sorry.
this for a moment. Put in the beginning. I was a little look at that.
So there's a cut.
Hey, sorry, I had to look at that for a moment. In the video. I was a little nervous.
He watched his own video.
The tones, I think this is the same tones, that you might have heard in the beginning. I'm gonna put in the beginning the part where the door opened. And also the way the guy on the other side was moving for a moment. I'm gonna ask for your comment later on that. So I was looking around here. So this is backwards. It says, "Do you remember being born?" And this just says "Quitter's Room." So interestingly, I'm on the reverse side here. Yeah. Okay. So moving on.
It was a load screen, right? Of just a grassy line.
And I'm back up here again.
Interesting.
This again.
Is this the same map where we went down? Or is this a different map?
Well, okay, I'm not gonna do that right now.
What did he say? I missed it.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna do that right now. Well, okay, I'm not gonna do that right now.
Okay. Do what? Search for something?
Alright, so I'm gonna stop this now, actually.
Okay. He seems quite nervous. And then the video ends. Interesting. So, he went, for the conclusion, he went down to this grassy plain where he finished his first session before he started recording for somebody. The door opened. Damn, that scared me. I thought the video was paused. The door opened and he didn't know why. So maybe it was just a time thing. Like, time is a really important, again, aspect of the whole series. Maybe that's like tied to it. Alright, so he went down, and there's a lot of things in this video that's like, when you watch it, you can't really explain what it is, right? It's just a lot of setup. Like the phone with care, we have a new name, we have a new character, we don't know yet. Left the room. We have the picture here. ABNLM. We see NLM here, right? That's NLM. We don't know what it is about her, but somehow she's connected to this daisy flower, right? And when he plucks all the petals and the room is tinted red at the end, right? The flower goes deeper and deeper into the ground, and he plucks the last petal. Flower disappears and goes back down, and NLM is distorted.
Okay.
He can't pick her up or anything. It's like she's in a new state, deeper than the NLM state. We know A, B, and NLM, and she's like in a deeper state, in a worse state than even NLM.
Just gonna see,
We saw
like, one room.
the tombstone of Mike Hammond, which depicts a 7 or 6 year old boy. If it is a tombstone, we can think it probably is tombstone because it's written Mike was a gift, right? And it's like shaped like a tombstone with gift on top, without the bow on top of it. Maybe it's just a box, but it's could depict a gift box, right? So
I can.
He finds a lot of new rooms, right? But are these connected? What is this piece here, right? What are these rooms? What is with the windmill? We don't know yet. Okay. Is the Quidditch room connected to the AB and LM girl? And we didn't get any answers from this thing, right? So he set up, in this video, there were a lot of setups to mysteries and what's with the ominous sounds. We heard from the windmill and the brick house. And as he left the windmill, he waited, right? But the thing still said, keep watching the windmill.
There's already been stuff.
Right. So, and he says himself there's already been stuff he wants to investigate and check out,
Find here.
but he still went to a new room, the Quidditch room. And what's with the note? What's with the matching walking pattern? Mirrored, of course.
What was that just now?
It's like a big mirror, right?
Can I get that to happen again?
And what's with the note here?
Is backwards.
Do you remember
says,
being born?
Do you remember? Interestingly, I'm on the.
And just a lot of Petscop theories revolve around, and the game itself, I think it comes up later again, is like a main theme of the series is reborn, rebirthing. So do you remember being born? Nobody remembers being born, right? It's like your memory doesn't go, or most people, maybe some do, but most don't remember being born. Their memory doesn't go back that far. But when there were some, and that's speculation, that's theory. There were some rebirthing. There was rebirthing done on some people. You can Google it. It's like now it's, I think, a band practice. Yeah, and I won't go too deep now because I think rebirthing comes up later. So when we have more connections to Petscop, we can go deeper into
Quitter's room.
the rebirthing theory.
I'm on the.
So then he walks out, and he lands back on the grassy plain, but we don't know if it's the same plane he went down, or if it's a different plane. He doesn't search a whole lot here. He just walks close to the door. Maybe he's afraid to lose it and just wander around. And then he nervously ends.
All right, so I'm gonna stop this now. Actually,
like he has a slight tremble in his voice. Okay, I think that's all for the conclusion of Petscop 2.